guys doing? Did you guys have fun on the go-karts? What about the horseback riding, huh? Oh my gosh. How many of it was your first time ever shooting a bow and arrow? Wow, that was amazing. So cool. I'm glad you guys had fun. And guess what? If you didn't get to do something today, you're going to do it tomorrow. We thought of you when we planned that. That way everybody gets to do the same thing. Everyone say, thank you, Pastor Chris. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I want to talk to you guys for just a few minutes. Is that okay? So really quick, what's standing behind me? So Pastor Felix built a cross last night right in front of your eyes, right? Wasn't that cool? Okay, so the cross is not to be taken lightly. It's really important. It's really important for me, and it's really important for you because it represents how much Jesus loves you and how much he did for us. That's why we do what we do. That's why we sing what we sing. That's why we say what we say, and that's why we live the way we live. Do you guys know what I'm wearing on my back? How many of you guys have backpacks at home? Okay, let's ask this question. Put your hands down. How many of you guys have more than one backpack at home? Yeah, okay, put your hands down. How many of you guys have actually lost your backpack at school before, and that's why you have a second one? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, put your hands down. All right, so we're not going to talk about school. Don't worry, it's summer. We're not talking about school. But I am going to talk about something very important for you guys. So for a minute, I want you guys to use your imagination with me, okay? If you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? But this backpack is not a backpack right now. This backpack represents my life. What does it represent? Okay, let's go a little step further. This backpack represents your life. What does it represent? So that's when you say my life. You ready? What does it represent? There you go. So let's make it personal. This backpack represents my life, but it also represents your life. And right now, it's empty. How many of you guys have empty backpacks at home, but you just like to have them because they look cool? They might have Spider-Man on it, who, by the way, is my favorite superhero. Or they might have My Little Pony, which that's okay if that's your favorite superhero, but Spider-Man is mine. Okay? But it's an empty backpack right now. Did you guys see it was empty, right? Okay. I want to talk to you guys really quick about something that every hero faces. I told you yesterday I'm a comic book nerd, right? I love comic books. Even though I might not read them, I love the superhero stories. I love watching the movies. Can't wait to see the new Spider-Man coming out this July. Yeah! So pumped about that. But every time I see a superhero movie or a superhero TV show, or if I get to read it in a comic book every now and then, there's something that every hero shares. You want to know what it is? You want to know what it is? Okay, I'm going to tell you, and it might not be anything you ever thought of before. Heroes all have problems. Heroes all have problems. You're like, Pastor Chris, this is supposed to be motivational. Why are you talking about problems? I'm going to get there, okay? But heroes have problems. I mean, think about it. There's a time in every superhero's life where they wanted to quit. I mean, I can think about it, and we're going to show you a few superheroes and the comic strips of where they were ready to give up, including my favorite superhero. Who is it? You guys are paying attention. I like paying attention. You guys are great. So this backpack, again, represents whose life? Yeah, make it personal. My life. One more time. It represents what? Now, when you're going through life, yeah, you kind of like, you're just walking around, everything's good. But all of a sudden, a problem comes your way. And that problem, it could be small, could be big, but it could be as heavy as a brick. So we talked about the belt of truth this morning. What happens when you're tempted to tell a lie and you actually tell one? That's not too bad. One brick, that's not too bad, right? Right? I bet all of y'all could carry one brick in your backpack, right? Well, that's a problem. Sometimes you might have the tendency to tell lies all the time. But what you should do is put on the belt of truth and always seek the truth. So you don't have to carry that. That's a problem. Someone say, that's a problem. No, it really is. Someone looks at your neighbor and say, lying's a problem. Okay, all right. So you might have the temptation to lie, but what about another brick? What about stealing? Okay? Now, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but I'm sure... it's getting a little bit heavier. I'm sure a little bit of you guys in here have taken something before that's not yours. Rather, it was a toy. Oh, look at you guys. You are raising hands. Okay, the truth is coming out. Okay, so when I was a kid, I even took things from the toy store without buying it. Oh, Pastor Chris, I know. Everyone's got problems. But when you grow up and you learn how much Jesus loves you and what he did for you, you can't help but live for him and do the right thing. So thankfully, I no longer steal from toy stores. Steal from my own bank account, and I get more money. All right, so here we go. So lying's a problem. Someone say that's a problem. Stealing's a problem. What about when you're at school and instead of studying for your test, you decide you're going to cheat? That's a problem. Someone look at your neighbor and say, that's definitely a problem. I mean, seriously, that is a big, big problem. And the problems, if you don't deal with them, can constantly add up and add up and add up to where they just keep getting heavier and heavier. What do you do with these problems? You're carrying them around. And that's kind of heavy. But we're not done yet. Because not only can problems come from when we do things like lying, cheating, stealing, it also comes from life experiences. Maybe some of you guys in here, you don't know your real mom and dad. And that's a problem. You think that that's your fault. That's not your fault. But you've been carrying that problem with you. Some of you guys in here, you might have a learning disability, and people call you stupid over it. And they've been calling you stupid for so long that it's been drilled into your head, and now you're carrying this problem with you, and it's not even yours to carry, but you put it in your backpack. What about other things? What about peer pressure? Maybe kids at school are telling you to do things you're not supposed to be doing, and you give into it and you do it anyway. Someone looks at your neighbor and say, that's a problem. That is a problem. Is my backpack getting fuller or less full? I mean, it's getting fuller, right? And it's starting to get pretty heavy. But it's not done. Because maybe some of you guys in here, maybe your mom and dad have gone through a divorce. And you think it's your fault. A lot of you guys. You think it's your fault? It's not your fault. It's not your fault, but a lot of kids, even if it's not you, they take that problem and they put it in their life's backpack. And constantly, throughout their lives, they've got problems, and they have to carry this thing with them no matter where they go. And carrying your life's problems with you can get really, really heavy. Can I tell you something? You don't have to carry your problems with you. Let me tell you something. Got a picture of Batman up here. There was a time when Batman was done. He had so many problems, he was ready to quit. He didn't want to be Batman anymore. He didn't want to see the citizens of Gotham City be rescued anymore. He was done. I got another picture. Wonder Woman. Even her, she was ready to give up and not do anything. Green Lantern, part of the Justice League. He was ready to quit. He was ready to give it all up. He didn't want to do it anymore. And of course, my favorite superhero, Spider-Man. It's an epic series. It's even a few movies where he says, I'm going to be Spider-Man no more. Because the problems that these heroes kept carrying on their backpack, they kept saying, I can deal with it. Oh, that's okay. No problem. I can deal with it. And later on, and the life kept going, their backpacks kept getting heavier and heavier because more and more problems kept getting in their bags. And I think sometimes, even as heroes in training, we keep thinking, I quit. I can't do this anymore. All these problems are mine. I quit. I can't do this anymore. But I want to tell you guys something. I want to tell you something really quick, and it's an amazing verse. It's in the Bible. It's in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. Cast all your problems on Jesus, because he cares for you. That's our hero. That's the one we're singing about all the time. That's the one we're living about. He says he cares enough about you so much to where he's like, no, you're not stupid. No, that's not your problem. I made you wonderfully and fearfully and beautifully. Give me your problem. So many times we're like, oh, Jesus, I mean, I appreciate it, but you know what? This is my burden to bear, no one else's. I'll take care of it. Or maybe your family did get a divorce and you blame yourself and you're like, this is my fault, my fault. But yet Jesus said right there in 1 Peter 5 verse 7, cast all your problems on me because I care for you. In other words, Jesus is saying, take your backpack off and give it to me because I'm going to carry it for you. That's how much Jesus loves us. So this is what I want to encourage you guys right now. I want to encourage you guys to not quit. Do not quit. Someone look at your neighbor and say, do not quit. Oh, no. You got to say it louder than that. You got to say, do not quit. I can't hear you. You've got to look at your neighbor with all the love of Jesus, and you've got to say, do not quit. So when you're tempted to quit because you're telling a lie, you've got to tell the devil, I'm not going to quit because my God is bigger than that. So you've got to go to the cross. You've got to go to Jesus, and you've got to cast your cares at the foot of the cross. Come on, I'm not done yet. You've got to tell your neighbor again, do not give up. Come on, let me hear you. So all your lies, it's time to put it at the foot of the cross. All your cares that you feel like you're not beautiful, you're not worthy, you've got to put it at the cross. Anything where you feel like you're not good enough, you've got to put that at the foot of the cross, because every hero has problems, but it's our God who's going to take it away. But are you willing to take your backpack and say, God, you can have all my problems. I don't want it anymore. If that's you, I want you to stand to your feet, and I want you to lift your hands, and I want you to say, God, I am not gonna quit. I want you to lift your hands, because if you have your life backpack right now, you need to shake it out. You need to tell God, take all my problems. Come on. Come on, say it again. Say, God, take all my problems. One more time, both hands raised. Say, God, take all my problems. This is the God we serve. And with your hands lifted, this means your hands are empty. You're not holding on to your problems anymore. And this allows you to stand strong for God. We're going to sing a song right now called The Stand. So you guys keep your hands up, keep your hands lifted, sing it with all of your heart, and give Jesus all your problems. Come on.